What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Cam, and today we're here with a little bit of a different video. Not I guess kind of an informational video, but I wanted to go over kind of like some tips to help people get better at hitting. Obviously, hitting in MLB The Show is one of the hardest things you can do in a sports video game. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of focus, and when you really play an MLB game, I'm pretty sure all you can relate to this. You can't just like hop on and just like sit back in the chair and be like, no, you gotta sit up and lock in really if you're playing on all-star or higher difficulty. You really can't just like lackadaisically play this game. Takes a lot of focus, takes a decent amount of skill, more than I think any other sports game. So, but there's definitely some tips and tricks to help make the PCI placement and stuff like that easier. I'm gonna go into it in this video. Before we hop in here though, if you do enjoy these kind of videos, be sure to like videos, subscribe to the channel. Some more tips videos. I do mainly gameplay and some news videos, but I thought I'd put out a hitting tips video. So check out my link in the description below. Have my other MLB Show 24 videos. Check out my Twitter. That's gonna be there too. I post what I'm gonna post for the day, MLB The Show news, stuff like that. So check that out. I'm gonna start off with telling you the best way to warm up in this game. And might say, or just practice hitting in general. You might say, Cam, I don't need to warm up. I'm not competing in a tournament. You could be right. I don't warm up all the time when I play either. But if you go down here on a custom practice, it's probably the best way just to practice hitting. Future Cam here. Forgot to put my credentials. I have gone flawless before in Battle Royale, and I have made World Series multiple times. I thought I should put this in here just so you know it's not some quote-unquote bum trying to give you hitting advice. So I have gone flawless in BR, and I have made World Series multiple times. So not that that's anything to write home about, going flawless one time, but I'm just laying that out there. And I haven't warmed up this year. I've done it in past, MLB Show 23, when I would record a video on a Hall of Fame difficulty. I'd warm for about 5 minutes. And but other than that, I haven't really done it. On All-Star, you really don't need to, but if you do, it's only gonna help you, okay? Warming up is for 5 minutes for you play an online game is only gonna help you when your opponent hasn't warmed up. First inning, he's kind of getting the feel of it, and the first inning you come out and rip the cover off the ball. If you play the game and you give up an early lead in the first inning, you know how absolutely demoralizing that is. So even 5 minutes for you play a normal game on All-Star, a BR run or something like that, it can only help you. I'm gonna load in here with my favorite batter, Trout, and then I'm gonna pitch Tryon right here just because he has like kind of like the prototypical meta pitch mix, four-seam, sinker, cutter, slider. And we're gonna hop in here on All-Star, I think. Let me make sure it's on All-Star before I load in here. Yep, All-Star. You can warm up in Hall of Fame. You can even warm up on Legend, even no matter what difficulty you're warming up for. The more difficulty you warm up on, the better it's going to help you when you load into a lower difficulty. You're just going to be quicker with the ball. And even if you never play on Legend, it's not a bad idea to hop in for 5 minutes and just try to get a hold of timing, and you'll only be earlier. You'll only be faster to get the fastballs on All-Star difficulty. Now, a couple quick tips. I'm gonna get into a couple quick tips, and then I'm gonna go over later in this video kind of more of an advanced approach. But gonna go over the quick tips first real quick, just for anyone that's interested. Obviously, I hope is obviously for people that have been playing the game, you're gonna wanna use zone hitting. None of that directional bullshit, none of that other shit. Zone hitting is by far, clear and easy, the best way to hit in MLB The Show. Let's see if I can find the camera section. Camera. Hitting view is probably the next important. There's strike zone 2, strike zone 3, wide, zoom. People use a lot of different things. That is, I would say, preference to a certain extent, but the strike zone is the closest you can get to the pitcher and the strike zone and the ball. And in my opinion, the closer you are to that, the easier it is going to be able to see the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand. The easier it is to see the balls high, low. The easier, like if we're loading to strike zone 3 right here, right? You see how far away I am? If I had, it looks better for showcase purposes, but dude, I don't know how y'all play like this. I can't see a damn thing. I mean, you can barely tell what's low, what's not. The PCI looks miniature on my screen. I didn't look like a strike at all. I cannot play like that. And like I said, it comes down just kind of personal preference. Strike zone 2, people play on. This is closer, right? But you see the pitcher is kind of small, right? A little bit hard to see the ball. I saw the ball right there, but you see how far away it is. Remember that, and hop in here to strike zone, which is what I play on. Look how big the pitcher is. Look how close you are to kind of like the ball. Look how big the ball is going to be on your screen. Much easier to see the ball come out of his hands, in my personal opinion. But once again, that is preference. Play around with that if you don't like the camera angle. Try new ones. You might struggle at first, but eventually you're going to find the one you want to play on. Also, back to zone hitting. You have a bunch of PCI settings. PCI is the little like thing you move around in the zone to hit the ball with. You have different settings for PCI center, inner, outer, what color you want it, the opacity. Do you want it to be completely like you can't see it at all, or do you want it to be fat ass and fucking, you can make it straight blue if you want to, bright as hell. I don't like this. I will tell you what I play on. Just show you what I use, that I've used it for the past 2-3 years-ish. Haven't really changed anything. I like white, just because it's easy to see in the strike zone, but I keep it on 50 opacity just so it doesn't cover up the ball when I'm trying to see the ball. So that's what I do. And no outer. I only use the inner and then the center. No outer. With the outer, you play on All-Star. Some people's PCIs are super big. Covers up the entire strike zone. I don't want that. I want to focus on the inner PCI and then the center. Another tip would be I try to watch the ball come out of the pitcher's hand. You want to find the pitcher's release point. Okay? So he's going to release the ball right here. So you kind of want to stare at that area. And the goal with staring at the pitcher's release point is to read the ball as soon as you possibly can coming out of his hands. Okay, the earlier you read the ball coming out of his hands, the better read you're going to get on the pitch, the faster you're going to know what the pitch is, the faster you can react to it. So that is kind of the goal with, I'm sitting here, okay, and as soon as he winds up, I'm staring at his release point. I'm aiming right at it with my eyes and see if I can pick up the pitch as fast as I possibly can. He's going to throw a slider all the way out of the zone. But that's kind of what you want to do there when I sit, or that's my approach. Obviously, you have some reads. If he's been spamming fastballs and the slider away, you can kind of make a read on that. But intentionally, I'm sitting inside right here, and I am, as soon as he winds up, I'm looking for the pitcher release point, and I'm swinging. That's kind of the fastest way for me to be able to read the ball, and a lot of others. I've heard people say the same thing. So if you're not doing that, if you're just waiting for the ball to come to you and react, it's going to be super hard. You're going to be super late on balls that otherwise you wouldn't be. Another thing people do is slam the PCI. So say they got a ball down low, like say it's like right here. He's not going to pitch it right there, but I'm just saying like some people like, see my PCI on the left? I slammed hella hard. You want to kind of glide the PCI around. You just don't want to like hold it up. Like you don't want to do that. Well, that ball didn't go all the way. But you get the point, right? You don't want to hold it all the way out here when the ball is going to be like right here. Okay, you kind of want to just kind of glide it around. Everyone has a problem with slamming your PCI. Every single player does it to a certain extent. But just the more you can minimize that, the better you'll be. Like right there, I didn't pull it all the way in or pull it all the way out. I kind of kept it right in that little middle spot. I kind of just let the PCI glide to the ball. Hard to do. Just take practice. I said that the biggest tip I can give you, to be honest, hitting the ball is play the game. Okay, I've been playing the MLB show for 8 years, and I'm nowhere near a fantastic player. I'd say above average, but I'm not some player that's going to go flawless every other day. And you just get better by playing the game. I've got better every single year. It just takes time. It just takes, work just to put in the hours and just keep playing the game. And you're not going to get worse. You might have bad stretches. You might have good stretches. You're not going to fundamentally get worse if you continue playing the game, in my opinion. Those are some quick tips. I will say, I'm going to go into a little bit of more advanced tips here if you're interested. I kind of want to go over what my approach is. Depending on righty-righty, righty-lefty, lefty-righty, lefty-lefty, I have certain approaches, and I kind of want to go over that. That's helped me tremendously starting last year and this year of hitting the ball increasingly better. Between MLB The Show 22 and now, the last 2 years, I have got triple as good as hitting the ball. That made no sense, but you get the point. So when it's righty-righty, I am going to anchor my PCI. You can anchor your PCI. You can, have it set right there. I'm not holding it or hold it down here or whatever. I hold it middle and inside, okay? This is where I have my PCI anchored when it's righty-righty. And then when he winds up, I'm going to put it up right here and swing. That is how I hold the inside sinkers and fastballs at bay. Hold, and try to get on as fast as I can. Late right there, beautiful pitch. It's going to be hard to hit that pitch. But that's kind of my approach because I struggle with the inside stuff. And then if it's outside, I kind of adjust to it. So hopefully throw some outside. I'm still early, but as you see, I moved my PCI over there. I adjusted. But I like to start over here so I can take away the inside fastball sinkers. If you play the game, you know it's some of the hardest pitches to hit in this game. Some of the hardest pitches to catch up to. So if I sit over there, it does the best for me. But it's personal preference, but I have an approach. Like I do not change what I do righty-righty. This is what I will do. No matter who's at the bat, no matter who's pitching, I will put it over here, and I will hold it up as soon, I'll hold it just a little bit, as soon as he winds up. And that helps me do the best at getting the high stuff, getting the inside stuff, and stuff like that. Now, I have different approaches for righty-lefty. Lefty-lefty, righty-lefty. I'm going to go over it super quick. And obviously, you're going to have a different approach than I am, but I just want to go over, you know, like the point of I think you want an approach, for sure. So righty-lefty right here, I hold inside this way. Okay, this helps me catch up right. Once again, the inside fastballs, and especially the inside cutter. I struggle a lot with the cutter. Righty-lefty, especially if it gets in on the hands. I tend to be hella early or just let it go. So if I start right here, it helps me, it's easier for me to read when the cutter comes inside. It just helps me get on the inside stuff. A lot of inside pitches are going to be fastballs and sinkers and cutters, and a lot of outside is going to be off speed. So if I sit out here, I can adjust to the off speed outside. It's kind of like the theme of my approach. But no matter what, lefty, righty, whatever, no matter what I'm doing, this is what I do, and I hold up when he winds up. Right here. And that helps me get on the sinker. Still late, but that helps me the most. Gonna go to lefty-lefty. Lefty-lefty is probably the hardest thing to hit in this game. And I sit inside once again, take away the inside fastball with the sinkers, hold it up just a little bit. When he winds up, boom, and that. Swung at a ball, but gets to the infield with no defenders. But that's my approach, lefty-lefty. Once again, take away the inside fastball, take away the inside sinker, adjust to the off speed. If you struggle lefty-lefty, there's no shame in it. Lefty-lefty is no fun in this game, especially when you got John Donaldson pumping 102 down your throat inside part of the play. It's just incredibly hard to get a hold of. And righty-lefty is probably my most different approach. I will change just a little bit. Once again, we're inside. We're taking away the fastballs and the sinkers. But sometimes what people like to do righty-lefties is pump a sinker away. Okay, and when I'm sitting in here, I find it really hard to get on the fast sinkers out here. So what I will sometimes do is I still anchor it right here, okay? And normally I would put it up like that, like my normal at-bats. But sometimes if I'm struggling to get on the fastball and the sinker outside, I'm going to hold it here, and I'm going to move it top mid. And this lets me adjust to anything top in the zone, like that. And then usually this down low stuff is going to be like a slider maybe. And if I start up here and it's a slider, it gives me enough time to get down here and kind of pump it out to left field, ideally. But that's kind of my approach. Righty-lefty is a tad different. But the point of that stuff that I'm going right there is you kind of want an approach to your at-bat. You kind of don't know what I'm looking for. You know, if a pitch is fucking me up, you know, what I'm not going to swing at no matter what. Don't be afraid to take strikes, too. Don't be afraid to just sit there and take a pitch. I have a rule. When it's 3-0, I don't care what the fucking situation is. I'm not swinging. I put the controller down, pick up my drink, take a drink, and just let it be. I'm gonna make him earn it. I'm gonna make him throw me a strike. He's gonna throw me 3 balls in a row. Don't be afraid to take the 2 strikes sometimes. Put the controller down, let him make it a 2-0 count, or a 2-2 count. Just, patience is utmost importance in this game. And don't be afraid to take strikes if it's not a pitch you think you're gonna hit good, or that you even wanna swing at. Obviously, when you have 2 strikes, it's a different ball game. But when it's an 0-0 count, man, do not be afraid to take first pitch. Patience is key. Playing the game is key. And that's kind of my tips. Hopefully this helps somebody out. Not saying, like I said, not the best player that puts out these videos. I've gone flawless before, like I said. I've made World Series before, like I said. But far from the best player to make a tips video like this. But hopefully this helps somebody out there. And I know people struggle with hitting, so I thought I'd put one out there. If you did enjoy, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.